Human Geography. So there are two sections, multiple choice and FRQs. We will start with multiple choice questions. Number of questions are 60, time allowed is 60 minutes. 50% is MCQs and 50% is FRQs. So the basic strategy to approach, there are 5 options. MCQs hai, so use of process of elimination is very important. Time management. I always recommend students before I start with the chapter explanation, they don't spend too much time on one question. Read, rephrase the question importantly. So basically what you're supposed to cover is when, who, where, what. That means the historical period, political period, economic context. For example, post World War II, Europe, the original members for European Union, Western, supranational organization, that's all has been covered. So we'll cover all the information with the chapters. This is a basic structure how to approach the question for MCQs. Moving on to the types of questions that we cover in AP Geography. We have mainly map questions, identify a pattern, analyze graph, table, data. Pretty simple definition. There is nothing very complicated about AP Human Geography. It's very simple. Students are already covering a lot of chapters in their CBSE 9th standard, so they are very, very well acquainted to these chapters. Then you have theory questions, where you're required to interpret the theories in simple definitions. Comparison questions, where they ask you about a relationship between a concept, phenomena. Suppose they ask you the difference between America city and the location of poor residential areas. Pretty simple. Then we move on to section 2. Section 2 is about FRQs, that is free response questions. Number of questions, 3. Time allowed, 75 minutes. So don't mix the time. You will have a 10 minutes break from your MCQ section to your FRQ section. So question will ask you to explain the effects of migration, agriculture, economic geography. All 3 questions will present a real specific geographic scenario, and they'll ask you about the spatial relationship. We will give you all the material, all the terms, definitions. First question I'm explaining, in there will be no visual stimulus. That's the frequent questions that students ask. Second question will involve a visual stimulus. Third question will have 2 stimuli, map, data, table. They will ask you to analyze and explain them separately and make connections importantly. Now, importantly, it's very important for you to divide your time. So 25 minutes if you have on each question, that means 5 minutes you give to outline, to make a mind map, and 20 minutes to write as fast as you can. That goes for question 2 and that goes for question 3 as well. Moving on, how AP Geography exam is scored. 5 being the highest, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extremely well qualified is 5, well qualified is 4, qualified is 3, 2. So if you scored a 4, well, we're obviously trying for a 5, no university will leave you. So that's how the scoring is done. Now, what are you supposed to study? That's the main question. What are you going to study? I have a bit of summary here for each chapter. Recommended books are, of course, Barron, Sterling, Princeton. They have all the MCQs and FRQs. The latest have been updated, as Sir also mentioned on the online portal. So the first chapter will be Thinking Geographical, where you cover both MCQs and FRQs. So what is Thinking Geographical? This is the most easiest chapter, where you cover the scale of analysis. We give you a detailed explanation and material and definitions to cram, to learn. Gravity model. The key foundation concepts include space, place, location. That's the first chapter all about. Moving on to second chapter, we will cover population, migration, and patterns and processes. When we talk about this chapter, We covered the rate of natural increase, the terms, doubling time, importantly, how is it calculated is in front of you, doubling time, demographic equations. We have a lot of pictures and displays to show. Demographic equation, how is it calculated? Demographic transition model, importantly, that defines the population change. In the third chapter, we cover population and migration patterns and processes. This is the second chapter, continuation. So here we also cover Malthus's theory, importantly. That's been predicted that global population would expand beyond the capacity, produces a large enough food supply. Population pyramids, a very important topic, where we show you a lot of pyramids, how to compare. Population density, covered with all the definitions, carrying capacity, migration patterns, push factors, pull factors, there are differences between them. Pull factors traits are mostly, when migrants, they move to a location for a better employment, economic conditions. Push factors where they compel the migrants to leave their homes. So we tell you all the differences so that you can make easy, quick guesses when you do MCQs. Then we cover cultural patterns and processes. Culture itself says heritage, religion, various form of arts, behavior, group of people, language spoken all around. So AP, on the AP exam, these distribution and patterns may be depicted on maps, charts, language trees. That's how the questions are being asked frequently. So how do you identify, you characterize the religion, ethnic, universalizing religion? I'm giving a brief on this chapter. So this is a very important point. There are three major world religion traditions: animist religions, Hindu, Buddhist, Abrahamic. We give you a detailed information. Monotheistic, that will emphasize on coming, on return. In continuation with the same chapter, language, cultural globalization, the stress, the tension between the popular cultures based on traditions, regions. That's how we covered each chapter. Political patterns and processes. A nation state is one identifiable culturable group represented by a single government. Supranationalism, political boundaries, internal boundaries, external boundaries. So we cover majorly gerrymandering here, creation of irregularly shaped voting districts, importantly. What are free markets, democracies? That's one of the major forms of political economic included here. Then we have agriculture and rural land use patterns. So that's one of the part of the primary economic productivity. We have stages here. Okay. Now, to give you an explanation of how you go about what is carrying capacity, 4 main population clusters: South Asia, Southeast Asia. We give you all these detailed information. What happened from stage 1 to stage 2? CBR was high, and then a role of women, traditional roles were there in stage 1 and stage 2. A little urbanization happened. Then if you come to stage 3, opportunities in stage 3 for women, increase of urbanization and less international. Stage 4, absolutely going to economically, socially independent, empowered, women started working. So these are the questions. Population policies, what were the difference between nationalist policies, anti-nationalist policies, immigration, emigration, migration, all the patterns and definitions have been covered with each chapter. Majorly, we cover 11 laws of migration. Migration increase mostly due to economic causes, forced migration, voluntary migration. So this information is to make you aware what all we cover in each chapter, so that you're aware of what you're covering. So it will sound all very familiar to the students because they've done a lot of information they've covered in school. Thank you so much.